I'm 6 feet from the edge and I'm thinking maybe 6 feet ain't so far down. Maybe it is, I don't know. Beep. Welcome back to another episode of the worst best show on the internet. Welcome back. Whatever we do, change is coming. It's coming with the implosion of our Imperium. And it's coming from the rapid degradation of the ecosystem itself. There's nothing we can do to stop it. So how will this change? Will we respond rationally? Will we learn to speak to the world with a new humility? And create structures within our own communities for sustainability? Will we continue to live the illusion? And in the wake is a matter of awakening ourselves toward reality and responding to it. Yeah, probably not. It's not that important. Whatever. Welcome back to the show, folks. Welcome back to another episode of the best thing that you've ever been into. This show is brought to you in part by Monkey in a Computer, in association with Back High Productions, with the grant brought to you in part by Great Grandma. Everything that happens on this show is 100% real, even if you believe it's fake. Ooh. Yeah, let's get this started. Let's get this show on the road. Ooh. Oh, that was kind of sudden. Welcome back to another episode of the best, worst show on the internet. Also brought to you in part by Miss Lunchy, puppy with an attitude. That's what I like to call her, Miss Thang, aka Lunchamus Maximus, looking for some steakamus. We know what you're looking for, Lunchy. We know what you all about. Anyways, hopefully you're doing well in this fine matrix we call a universe, and realizing that these times are strange, my friends. There's a lot of weird things happening. So once again, welcome to the Griftcast IRL, the best worst show in the entire universe. Number one, ain't nobody came up with this gag before me. If they tried to say that they did, they're lying because they're biting. They're biting off of me. Why would they be doing that? I don't know. Either way, I feel like there's a lot of goodness in the world. My name's Manuel Chavez III, or the Turd, depending on how you know me, apparently. And you know what? We're good. Me and Lunchy had some steak. I made some of my world-famous rice, only world-famous to me. But, you know, things are pretty good. Lunchy's been eating her rice. She likes her rice and bacon grease with a little bit of onion, a little bit of carrot. Got a nice little melange of the paste thickened chucky salsa with the. Then you got that fucking jasmine rice, and then, but you think you're gonna don't put water in it. You need chicken stock, bitch. Don't be coming in here without it. What are we making here? An atrocity? You want some white rice? What are you, Asian? Anyways, welcome back. Hopefully you're well. I don't know where that came from, but that's the beauty of this show, is that it's completely and 100% off the cuff. Nothing here is planned. Nothing here is really even made up. It's just kind of like a what you see was what you get type situation. So nice to see you, Jordan Snowden. What's up? No one here yet. How's it going, Squiggles McJr.? And what's up, Victoria Greyjoy? Hopefully everybody's doing well. Yeah. Oh, dude, what? A free.gov laptop? What do you mean, a free laptop? I want a laptop, a free one. That would be sick, dude. Who doesn't want free shit? Lunchy, she's free shit master, dude. People always be trying to give her free shit, but if it ain't steak or something live and meaty, she don't give two shits. Isn't that right, Lunchy? That's right. Be who you are, Lunchy. Be who you are. Okay? And then we really need to take you to the groomers so they can get your little like code out, and then take a look at your teeth, and then they're gonna be like, "Oh my god, her teeth are so clean. How come she doesn't let your fingers in there?" Be like, because she doesn't want to bite anybody with them fucking razors. You know what I'm saying? She don't want to tear them up with the razors. I got it in there though. Daddy, are you okay? I got you with my razors. No, I'm fine. Those things don't hurt. Are you okay? Did you just have a little cry because you bit Daddy? It's okay. Daddy's fine. You ain't gonna hurt him. You gotta bite a lot harder than that, Lunchy. Like 100 times at least. And even then, that's probably just gonna hurt your teeth. Uh-oh, is there somebody out there? We have the cameras. It's just the wind, Lunchy. It's windy as shit. It's been windy. Anyways, hello. So, where do we go from here? It's a weekend update because I've been busy as shit all week and I ain't got time to be dealing with all this live streaming BS. But, I decided that I could do a show today, right? You guys see my background? Check this shit out. Woo! We're in the fucking Matrix, bitch! I completely forgot that you could do this, but, I've just had it on now for a while now, and I feel like it's pretty good just because, now I ain't got to worry about my screen, getting locked in certain things if I actually leave it open. But yeah, dude, we're in the Matrix now, bro. It's one of those subtle little hints that the world is not the same that it used to be. Have you noticed the subtle changes and differences in the entirety of the thing? I don't know, I have. But it seems like other people are noticing too. But, the big ticket item of the day would be Donald Trump talking about a third term, baby. Yep. I mean, do you really want to see Donald Trump in for a third term? I mean, I feel like before I made a decision on that, I needed to give him at least to the midterms to see if he could, pull everything together and whatnot before I'd ever think about voting for him again. But you know what? Obviously, the amount of people that are considering that this is a great idea is really high. Actually, it seems like, based on just Googling, just a little bit of, just a little look-see over there in the Twatterland. It definitely seems like some folks are talking about this guy, and this guy's talking about this guy actually being in there again. Like, how many times is he going to run again? Is he allowed to run again? Yeah. Third terms are taken, not earned. I agree with that. Yeah, it seems like you would have to take it somehow. I mean, the only way. I mean, this almost seems like a question for Grok because Grok probably knows what's up with this. Hey, Grok, I wanted to know how a president could get a third term, period, with all the talk about Donald Trump saying that he would like a third term. What are the actual options that he has? Number one, and number two, who in the past has had 3 terms, and what was the reason that they had them? What's up, Virginia Olsen? And can you believe it? Wow. Grok is already on the motherfucker right here. Let's see what he's got to say. I have it on concise mode because I don't like sitting here listening to this shit.
A president can only serve 2 terms under the 22nd Amendment. For Donald Trump to legally get a third term, 2 main options exist.
We got 2 options.
Amend the Constitution, requires a 2/3 vote in both the House and Senate, then ratification by 3/4 of states, 38. This is a steep, unlikely hurdle due to political division. Succession loophole. The 22nd Amendment bars election to a third term but not serving via succession. Trump could run as vice president in 2028, and if the president resigns or dies, he could assume the presidency. This is untested and could face legal challenges under the 12th Amendment, which requires VP eligibility match presidential eligibility. Historically, Franklin D. Roosevelt is the only president to serve 3 terms, and a fourth, from 1933 to 1945. He was elected in 1932, 1936, 1940, and 1944. The reason was the crisis of the Great Depression followed by World War II, prompting voters to keep him in office. No term limit existed then. The 22nd Amendment was ratified in 1951 to prevent this in the future.
Well, thank you, Grok, for being so concise and straight to the point on what the options are for this. Yes. So, yeah, it looks like there's only 2 options that Donald Trump has. Get the Constitution amended with the 2/3 vote in both the House and the Senate, and then ratified by 3/4 or 38 states. I mean, do the Democrats do we control enough states to make that happen? I think that actually doesn't sound that crazy. And then there's the secession loophole. So, yeah, so far, there's really no way for them to actually get that done, to be perfectly honest with you, unless there's like a third nuclear option or something of that nature, because historically, they say Franklin D. Roosevelt was the only president to serve 3 terms. Technically, he served 4 terms, and it was from 1938 to 1945. And it was basically because of the crisis of the Great Depression that was promptly followed by World War II, and that's what kept him in office for all of those years. Huh. That's very crazy. Interesting. Wait, oh no. Tell me more about... Wait, I should just talk to it. Ah! Alright, what the fuck? I hit Windows H. Tell me more about Franklin D. Roosevelt and his multiple presidencies. Hell. What's up, Frank? J.R. Riggs? What the hell? Didn't say anything. Tell me more about Franklin D. Roosevelt and his multiple presidencies. Keep thinking along the line of Trump and how the current climate could be connected. Lunchy, why you always gotta get on the computer? Got a good thing with Grok going in. You won't with it. Yeah, dude, you think that might be Bannon's plan? So who's gonna be the president? Is it gonna be J.D. Vance, and then they're gonna explode J.D. Vance, and then they're gonna bring Trump back in? I don't know. That doesn't sound right. Here's what Grok says about it, though. So because why
Franklin D.
not?
Roosevelt, FDR, served as president from March 4, 1933, until his death on April 12, 1945,
Oh, he
4
died.
terms, totaling over 12
Did he
years.
get
He
assassinated
won
or
elections
something?
in 1932, 1936, 1940, and 1944.
That's
His
crazy that he
tenure
won
was
all those
driven by
elections.
extraordinary crises. The Great Depression demanded bold economic recovery, New Deal, and World War II required steady wartime leadership. Pre-22nd Amendment, no term limits existed, so voters kept him in power for stability during chaos. For Trump, parallels to FDR hinge on crisis perception. Today's climate, polarization, economic uncertainty, inflation, post-COVID recovery, and global instability, Ukraine, Middle East, could fuel arguments for extended leadership. FDR's 3rd term came as war loomed. Trump's supporters might claim ongoing culture wars or border security justify bending rules. Unlike FDR's era, the 22nd Amendment now blocks a direct 3rd term unless repealed, near impossible, or bypassed via succession, VP route, legally murky. Public appetite for continuity in crisis could echo FDR's time, but legal and political barriers make it a long shot.
You gotta go outside? You need to go pee-pees? Come on. Interesting. They say it's a long shot, right? A long shot, because the only time a president has ever served that many terms is because we were in a war. But they literally made a whole entire amendment to stop that from happening. Oh, you don't want to go outside anymore because it's raining? Okay, I see how you are. I see how you are, Luchi. You're just like Donald Trump. Anyways, so yeah, doesn't sound like uh this is a possibility for the guy, right? I think a lot of really stupid arguments are going to be made about it and say, "Oh yeah, no, it can happen." We got all this, but yeah, no, actually not, because I think we got the 22nd Amendment, right? What's the 22nd Amendment? Why is the 22nd Amendment keeping me away from having God King Donald Trump? I don't know, because life sucks. It might be that. Tell me more about the 22nd Amendment, Mr. Grok. Might as well ask him about it since we're already asking them about this, and it's actually working for a change. That shit was a bit. That shit wasn't working for all day, all day. Okay, so yeah, let me tell me the keys about that. Give me the stuff,
The
baby.
22nd Amendment limits U.S. presidents to 2 terms, either consecutive or non-consecutive. Ratified on February 27, 1951, it states, "No person shall be elected to the office of the president more than twice." It was a response to Franklin D. Roosevelt's 4-term presidency, 1933 to 1945, which broke the 2-term tradition set by George Washington. Congress proposed it in 1947 under a Republican majority wary of executive overreach. 36 states ratified it by 1951, 41 total eventually. Key points. Applies only to election, not succession, e.g., a VP finishing a term could still run twice. Grandfathered Truman, who was president then, but he didn't pursue a third full term. Repeal requires 2/3 of Congress and 3/4 of states, 38, a high bar. For Trump, it's a hard stop unless amended or skirted via succession loophole.
Hmm. Yeah, kind of weird, right? They're saying that this is what Trump's new big thing is, and this is what's giving them the whole fucking hubbub blue about the whole situation. And when Palm Beach, let's just take a little snippet from Chris McGarren's fine reporting over at the Associated Press.
West Palm Beach, Florida, AP. President Donald Trump said Sunday that "I'm not joking about trying to serve a third term. The clearest indication he is considering ways to breach a constitutional barrier against continuing to lead the country after his second term ends at the beginning of 2029. There are methods which you could do it," Trump said in a telephone interview with NBC News from Mar-a-Lago, his private club. He elaborated later to reporters on Air Force One from Florida to Washington that "I have had more people ask me to have a third term, which in a way is a fourth term because the other election, the 2020 election, was totally rigged." Trump lost that election to Democrat Joe Biden.
Yeah, the 2020 election, he threw that back in there. No way. That means that there's got to be videos about this. Let's just see if we could copy this and go over here. What? Somebody is just giving us money, dude? Kelly is nice. $5 from a super chat. Kiss sweet Lunchy for all of us. Oh yeah, you need a kiss, Lunchy? Get up here. It's your turn. Get up here. You want some banana too? No, you don't like banana. I'll give Lunchy a kiss. Mwah! This is my baby girl. You good? Hey, you haven't jumped on the bed and gotten all over my clothes. How am I supposed to go to work tomorrow if I don't smell like Lunchy? How am I supposed to go to work tomorrow if I don't smell like Lunchy? You're sleeping on your duties, baby girl. No, sorry, George, my brother. The world isn't ending yet, my friend. Nope, not yet. Not at all. Not at all. Hadn't ended yet. Ain't over. Ain't over. If it was over, though, that'd be kind of crazy, though. Let's see if we actually have some media of him saying that, because I don't see. I feel like people would have posted those videos, right? Wouldn't have people have posted those videos? Can you find me some videos on X from Trump talking about a third? Oh wait, that's how you spell it. Term. Yeah, I should have just fucking spoke to text that shit. Thanks again, Kelly, though, for that nice $5 donation. We appreciate that. You are pretty nice and awesome. Yup, that's right. Why doesn't it give me links? X posts. There we go. Oh, that's like somebody's video. Lame. Let's try this one.
In a bombshell interview with NBC News today, Trump suggested that he would run for a third term, saying there were methods for doing so.
Every century, if we're lucky, we've got him now. He's on fire, and I'm a huge supporter. Want to see him again in 2028.
But that's not a Twitter. That's not what I asked for at all, Brock. You motherfucker. That's not what I asked for at all, Brock! But it does seem like that's all the videos that indeed came out there, but it's just everybody leaking the same video. So maybe there aren't actually any videos of it saying any of that stuff, but maybe it's just all fucking hogwash, poppycock. Yeah, I don't know, dude. Maybe people need to relax.
Like you had a third term, and I used to say, you know what? If I could make an arrangement where I had a
If I could make an
stand-in, a
arrangement,
front man or front woman, and they had an earpiece in, and I was just in my basement in my sweats, looking through the stuff, and then I could sort of deliver the lines, but somebody else was doing all the talking and ceremony. Wow. I'd be fine with that. What you know now, do you wish like you?
Yeah, I guess they were fine with it when it was windful, but as soon as Trump starts talking about it,
very much reminiscent of the days of FDR. FDR was had a beautiful patrician voice, magnificent voice, great debater, very smart man. FDR, 16 years, almost 16 years. He was four-term
president.
I don't know. Are we going to be considered three-term or two-term? You tell me, Ronnie. What do you think? Are we three-term or two-term if we win? But think of it.
It's just the answer.
They're going to say wonderful. Now, he did that State of the Union the other day. He was high as a kite. So I think we should call for drug tests on the debate. Yeah.
I think he was high as a kite. Yeah, he hasn't said it recently, except for NBC. I don't really see it like it's happening, but maybe it could happen, right? Like maybe we could get that, right? But I'm sorry, unless they do some insanely crazy shit. Like, hold up, unless they do some insanely crazy shit, I don't see it happening, folks. Right? Like, I don't see him pulling that rabbit out of the hat. That's a Trump stake, if you ask me. Okay, Trump's got winners, Trump's got losers, right? That idea right there is like Trump University or Trump stakes. You could try, but that's just going to fail. You know what I'm saying? But I guess if you don't try, how do you know that you're going to fail? Right? I know so many people that would be talking about, yeah, we want Trump in 28. Yeah, we want Trump in 2032. I'll be honest with you. I don't. I don't, because that's not how the game's supposed to work, man. You be changing the rules and shit or whatever. I mean, it happened one time. And those were some pretty exigent circumstances, if you ask me. There was a Great Depression and a World War. And, when I go buy groceries and I only buy like 3 or 4 things and it costs me like $40, $50, right? That starts to sound a whole lot like a depression to me. You know what I'm saying? When eggs cost $10 and shit like that. Like, you got to start questioning whether it's actually happening in the way that it should be. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit's crazy, bro. It is nuts. So, the more I look into it, the more that I wonder about it, there could be a huge argument that's made for it. Acid is cheaper than eggs. That's probably true. Don't take acid, though. That shit's not good for you, bro. Remember this one time, right? I didn't even know I didn't really know, dude. It was like this guy, he had like a piece of paper in his hat or whatever that he would wear on his head or whatever. And it like fell out of his hat. And I picked it up and I handed it back to him. And I'm like, oh, here's your weird fucking piece of paper. And he was just like, oh, yeah, bro, enjoy your time. And I was just like, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? You know, what do you mean? And he was just like, oh, when I drop that shit or whatever, I drop it on that paper. So, like, that paper's got, like, all kinds of different stuff on it. Right? It's like all of them mixed together, man. So it's, like, super powerful, bro. Sorry that you picked that up, man. I'm just like, thanks. Thanks. Yeah, drugs are always cheaper than food when it's a depression. That's another point for depression, I would have to say. So, you know, you got a president talking about multiple terms. We're living in some really interesting times where it almost feels like the world's going to be ending, right? Because there's been earthquakes that have been happening that are quite massive, 7.0 or above, happening in multiple different locations all over the earth, just after some gigantic solar blast that affected the corona and put auroras everywhere. And then people are trying to tell me that there's no correlation in between any of that shit. Yeah, I don't know. Kind of seems like it. Yep. And maybe you're right, Virginia. So the economy is going to get worse before it starts turning around. We will be in a depression, but first to come out due to things Trump's putting in place. Maybe. I mean, you know, technically the depression started when Joe Biden was a president, by the way. I mean, Trump is just taking that shit over, but as far as we're doing right now, there hasn't really been any motion in any of that shit. And then on top of all of it, tariffs are going to make it even worse. You know, I just think about where I work, right? Like, we're an American company who makes parts for Kenworth trucks and like Peterbilt trucks and big rigs. We make all kinds of shit out of aluminum. But all the stuff we're sending is in the United States, right? You know, like we're making shit for the working man, one of the biggest industries in the entire world or whatever. And even then, you know, like that shit's mostly owned by a German corporation, I believe. So just to like think about what's happening and what's going on, you know, like that shit affects us hard. Because it's not like you could just get aluminum in the United States that's going to be good enough, right? So you have to import that shit, right? You got to, and then they're making it in these factories, you know, where that makes prices go up. Imagine, you know, a $200 part with the 25% tariff. That's a $250 part. That's what they're paying. But the thing is you're still only getting paid for a $200 part. You're not getting any of that extra money. All that extra money is going to the government. So essentially, you know, your goods that you're making in the country and shipping out are also going to be getting charged the same kind of way. So, you know, it's going to affect you on both different sides. On top of that, it's going to affect you when you're buying stuff and depending on where you're buying it from. And I mean, who are the biggest exporters of that shit? Canada? Fuck. Let's just take over Canada just so I can get cheap aluminum. I like that. You know, those Canadians, they can be mad all they fucking want. I don't give a fuck. Anyways, so perspectives aside, the world seems to be a little bit of strange, but you know, Trump trying to seed the movement on that ideal is a very, very strange situation. Mm-hmm. Greenland. Oh yeah, we're gonna take over Greenland too. I forgot about taking over. We're gonna take over Greenland. We're gonna take over Gaza, and then there's gonna be people in Canada that are just gonna seed from Canada. enjoy the United States because their entire industry can't survive. Because I mean, which is it? Which places in Canada makes all the fucking cars? Right? Is it in Ontario or something like that? Like all of those guys are making nothing but cars and trucks. Like I think about where all our suppliers shit is at. And sure, there's a bunch of United States places, but some of that shit goes into Canada too. I mean, it's crazy. The number one thing that moves stuff is trucking. And that relies on metal, right? In a big fucking way. And now it just got 25% more expensive. Just crazy. So I don't know, I don't have a lot of faith right now with the big boss man. He's letting Elon Musk on all that fucking ketamine come in there and do some crazy shit. Elon Musk was doing a whole, town hall, I guess, in Wisconsin. And now the Wisconsin Attorney General is saying to stop Elon Musk $1 billion payment at the rally. He's like, yeah, I'm going to give you $1 million to change your life. Man, that's crazy, bro. Right? Third term as president is what people are talking about. Pissed off at Putin, Trump threatens tariffs on Russian oil if Moscow blocks the Ukraine deal. Yeah. Everything feels pretty much the same, right? Even when I go look over at the other thing here, Ground News, it's basically saying the same thing as I was seeing on the other side, right? Everybody's pretty much looking into the same thing and worried about that one thing, which doesn't even seem to make any perfect sense. It doesn't make any sense because isn't there a lot more going on overseas? Like, I haven't seen a lot of news about that in any way. Like, what happened in Israel? Did the ceasefire stop and then they started murdering a bunch of people again? What's happening in Ukraine? What's going on with the whole, Ukraine versus Russia? I thought they were having a ceasefire. That was supposed to be over. What the fuck? What's this? Trump's U.S. aid cuts hobble earthquake response in Myanmar. Oh, damn, son. 3 days ago, there was a 7.7 earthquake in Myanmar. That sounds pretty fucking crazy if you ask me. Give me free, tax-free OT and change the child support laws. Why? You don't pay child support. You don't pay child support, fucker. Or maybe you do. I don't know. I haven't talked to you. Ow. My nose hurts. Feel like I'm about to start bleeding. Feels like it started bleeding, man. I got a sinus headache like crazy the other day from all the pollen and shit because it's spring or whatever. I was like, I can't even think, bro. I'm dying. Anyways, okay, I feel like I'm better. I'm better. Yeah, buildings fell in Thailand. Yeah, that's what I heard. Is that buildings fell in Thailand? Thailand would have a motherfucker get wrecked, son. Yeah, dude. Thailand got wrecked, son. Good, Sykes and Punch for thinking that I don't pay child support. You pay child support? I told you. You said you didn't pay child support, you son of a bitch. I don't know everything about what's going on in your life. I remember specifically asking you about that shit, and you're like, no, we're not doing any of that court bullshit or whatever, Then now you're psychic punching me. Oh, you don't go through the courts. What do you go through? Who are you going through? Because, the court don't give a shit if you paid without the court. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. They can always come back at you at the back end, motherfucker. Don't forget that. I mean, it doesn't look that fucked up, but then you see this shit, and then you're like, oh, damn, this shit is fucked up. You sending this bitch Cash App, bro? That's messed up, man. Baby, where's my Cash App? I need to get I need to get my nails. I need to get my nails, Dad. Yes, Logi? ¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó, mi amor? Yeah. Yeah, baby mama needs that money. Oh, at least you don't have to go through court. Nah, man, I thought you were like a deadbeat dad or whatever. I shouldn't be laughing while these fucking buildings are falling down and shit. That's not funny. You're not funny, man. That's alright, though. Yeah, I don't have kids. I don't have to worry about that. Maybe. I mean, I don't have any I know about, but, you know. There's not a lot of, it's not like a lot of people to be thinking about at the same time. Pretty easy to check that shit, you know what I'm saying? Just gonna look them up and be like, nope, they're married, they got their own kids from some other dude. I'm in the clear, motherfucker, those are mine. There's only a few of them that, you know, they're not on Facebook or anything like that, so it's hard to, you know, keep track of them. Yeah. Damn, that's fucked up, bro. This is like some devastation levels of devastation, like gigantic buildings falling over. Do they have any of the actual buildings like toppling over? Because I feel like they would have had that. You know what I'm saying? Because it looks like some pretty big buildings went over in this particular area. So let's just take a look at that. I don't know, you know? I might as well check. Whoa. Oh boy. Damn, that shit's moving, son. What about that baby over there, you bitch? Why'd you leave that baby over there? She got a baby. Oh wait, that's that baby. Save the babies! It was like, ah, shit. God's pissed. God damn, son. Before and after. Temples falling over. Clock towers falling over. Whatever that is. Tear up. Damn, that whole thing fell down. The road's all fucked up. You could probably launch over that pretty good, though. You know what I'm saying? Dang. I wanna be forever young. Do you really wanna live forever? Forever? What is this? Chinese rescuer saved child after 60 hours trapped under the Myanmar rubble. Wow. Wow. Bitch, you gotta save the babies, bitch. Don't be running by yourself. Yeah, that's pretty fucking crazy. The water is just pushing up from the bottom under the ground and shit. Damn, son. Oh my god. Nightmare. Fucking nightmare. Oh my god, nightmare. Like, he's already holding on up there. Start shaking. Nah, that's nightmare fuel right there, bro. Man, don't. Nope. Get the fuck out of the pool. Get the fuck out of the pool. Nope. Get out of that shit. What if it breaks? You'll die. Fall to your death. Get out of there. That's insane. Look how big the waves coming out of the pool are. You want down? All right, bye, Litchi. Nice talk. Unconfirmed fires? Maybe they probably are. I mean, they obviously gas lines or something's gonna break because of this shit. That's pretty fucked up, man. Just sit there and you're look. There goes the floaty over the side. That could have been you, son. You just lay there with your fine ass girlfriend, just trying to chill out and shit, and the fucking earthquake comes up. This dude's just standing in the pool, like, I wonder if I should get out. Get the fuck out of the pool, motherfucker! What are you doing? What are you doing? I think it is funnier though that the lady just took off. Holy fucking shit! Bro, you ain't gonna hold the roof up. You ain't holding that roof up. Look at this shit. Holy fuck. Holy shit. Oh my god. No sky pools for me. What's this? Somebody comparing this shit to 9/11? Free fall. Look at that. Hey, it fell right into itself. Just like. Hey, but wait a minute. What's all that fucking smoke and shit on the one and the other one didn't have that? Oh, was it because it was on fire? Was it because it's on fire and that kind of gas that was in there was anhydrous ammonia and it makes a big, thick cloud of smoke like that when it. Oh, yep, sorry. Yeah. You know, wait a minute. They fell basically the same way. So what you're telling me is that a building like that could just fall onto itself at free fall speed, with if its structural integrity is taken down and it falls right into itself? Whoa, whoa. So what you're saying is that my theory about the anhydrous ammonia tanks at the bottom of the structures that was piped throughout the buildings is probably correct, because that could create the disturbance that everybody was talking about. I heard a big explosion. Yeah, the big ass anhydrous ammonia tanks down there, motherfucker. Anyways, and thermite. Well, yeah, anhydrous ammonia, when you burn it, if you can actually get it hot enough to burn, what's the first thing that it gives up? Nanothermite. Thermite. How did we discover it? Because of fucking ammonia reacting with fucking iron, creating really fast scale, and then would scrape that shit off and then light it on fire. It went bing. That's pretty nuts, though. What's up, Lutchy? You coming back up here? You done? Would you just have to go do a pee-pee or something? There you go. There you go, you lazy. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Dude, are they sure Godzilla didn't hit that shit? That's fucking crazy, bro. Are they sure that wasn't like a big ass fucking snake tail just hitting that shit? Because that's kind of what it looks like. That's nuts, bro. Atmosphere generated free electricity. Oh, that's why they did it. It was in Myanmar, and then they fucking earthquaked them.
Perfect.
Yeah, the cameras were better way back then, because that was an actual good one. Whoa, my god! A rooftop pool! Nightmare! 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 You're dead. You got hit by that water. You're dead. Fucking A, man. Or some shit is broke. You got knocked the fuck out by water. All these people. Right here. Splash! That's why you don't have pools on roofs. That's why nobody's got water beds anymore, bitch. I had a water bed when I was a kid. I love that shit. But would I have one of those things now? Hell no, man. I don't even know how my parents afforded that shit.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Alright, that looks a little bit sketchy. This looks better than any movie. Because it's real. Look at that shit, bro.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my
God. Yeah, you got hit by that water. You're dead, son. You're dead. Sorry. What is this? The rooftop full spilling over like waterfalls. Damn. Have a good one, George. This whole thing is crazy, son. This show shit is wild. Wow, they said the death toll was at least 1,644 with 34,000 people injured. Damn. Oh, shit. Not the phones. Renomar says the Chinese construction company in Bangkok. What? All those pipes busted? Yeah, dude, it's going to take a while to get all that going on. There's that big building. This is straight up like a movie, dude. Like, where's Godzilla at? Godzilla just hit that fucker. Don't stop! Keep going, motherfucker! Keep going! Yeah, just imagine that shit is freaky. I mean, that is more than freaky. Somebody was in that crane? Somebody was in that crane? No! Damn. That would be scary as shit. Working on a big ass crane like that, it's donezo. I didn't even think a parachute would have helped him at that point. He's too close to the ground. It might have helped. Probably still didn't break his legs. Damn. Damn. Still though, MVP, this lady right here with the baby. Although I'm pretty sure that baby got whacked by that thing right there. Yeah, dude. Yeah, maybe he made it to the other building. Yeah, I don't think so, bro. That dude was straight up free fall. What's up with all the roof pulls in Thailand? Get out of the fucking pole! Gotta ask yourself what all that pop 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 is. It's like, God, that's gotta be like metal snapping or popping out of the concrete and just making an explosive ass sound. That is scary as shit. I mean, is somebody angry at the Thai people? Isn't Thailand known for having its negative fortunes? Oh wow, this is that video again, but the guy, it's a different angle. This dude's just like, yeah, dude, something ain't right. And then this guy's like, yo, what the hell's going on over here? And then the girl's like, oh shit, okay, let's get out. Yep, get out of the pool. Doesn't even help her get out. She just runs away, looks back at him, like, yep. She's like, come on, babe, get the fuck out of here, babe. We're gonna fucking fall off of this goddamn fucking skyscraper. We're gonna die. Nah, bro, this is too much, son. Too much. That shit's scary as hell. Yeah, dude, that's trippy as hell. I mean, thank God that they're actually saving people in this shit, but like, what? People, how do people miss this, dude? Like, it's nuts. What's this? The universal symbol of your compromise? How does a butt plug selling rabbi know every world leader? Yeah, that should make you wonder, actually. How could a butt plug selling rabbi who sucks on baby penises know every world leader? That's just a weird situation. It's a weird situation. Even weirder than Elon Musk having his own town hall in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Like, talk about shit that doesn't make sense.
So it'll start off with like very low res, but then over time, I think eventually the implant would enable vision.
He knows Elon Musk too. You think he sold him a butt plug?
That is like superhuman.
Probably for his ex-wife.
So that'd be pretty cool. And then things are currently on track to do unsupervised full self-driving in Austin in June. So.
Oh, he's selling Teslas. Okay. He's selling Teslas at full self-driving in June. Okay, wait. The people have been waiting for full self-driving for a real long time, and I don't think I want a full self-driving Tesla if it's going to drive through a fake scene. Like, if somebody paints a fucking pattern on the wall or some shit. That looks real enough, it's going to just drive me into that shit. But yeah, here you go. The America Pack still doing America shit, which is really weird.
I'm happy to answer any questions. It could be, about Doge or whatever you'd like to hear about.
Yeah, one question left. God or Satan? I pick God. Sorry, Lucifer, you throw great parties, and we've always interacted on a positive angle, and I've had to whoop your ass a few times, but you may be the king of this world by your own vernacular. You still haven't earned the crown. Yeah, really weird. Really weird, just all the imagery that's in this picture right here. You got all these like boomers and like Republican types intermingled with like Tesla drivers and shit like that. And then the iconography is crazy. It just says vote, right? Vote, vote, vote. It's real weird, okay? Why does it say vote 6 times? Right? Why are the votes in different orientations on either side? Why do 3 of the votes go up and why do 3 of the votes go down? And then why you got that big American flag? Because it's the America Pack or whatever? Are you sure there's not some sort of subliminal messaging happening here? How many fucking stars are on that bitch? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, dude, there's some weird shit going on here, dude. This is like V for Vendetta type stuff. Like we're getting into a weird space right now. Honestly, I feel like they're trying to fucking psyop me.
I mean, it's like
He's got that Bahamut belt on. Look at that shit. You see that right there? Look at his belt. Look at his belt. Do you see it? Do you see the pentagram? Or maybe it's a starfish. I'm not exactly sure. Either way, it's gay. This whole thing is gay.
it's in my. I think it's the
Griftcast
biggest
best for fathers for I have signed.
voter fraud thing in history by far.
Yeah, it does seem like a weird bunch. I don't know, like we catch the symbolism in every little thing, and I'm seeing it there, dude. Bounty hunter, Bo. I'm a bounty hunter. I'll get your ass, bro. I'm paying attention to it. Whatever. So we got Trump saying he's doing this. We got the America Pack doing this. Earthquakes happening in Myanmar. And then everybody's shitting a brick because somebody moved like 4,000 Bitcoin over to Kraken. And yeah, it was a big amount. So, maybe there's something about to be happening with Bitcoin. Somebody selling off or potentially selling off $333 billion worth. It's quite the fucking, or sorry, $1 million is quite the fucking, why that number? Just like, how did 4,000 Bitcoins end up to be so close to it? Huh. Yeah, maybe Elon is a ninja. I would have to say no. Well, I don't think he is a ninja. That's really interesting right there just to see that happening once again. Big money moves. Big money moving. Interesting. Huh. Military workers recover 70-ton vehicle from Lithuanian swamp as 4 army soldiers are remaining missing. Uh-oh. We lost some armor soldier, or we got lost some people in Lithuania? What the fuck? That's weird. Prince Harry charity accused him of harassment and bullying at scale? What the fuck does that even mean? What does that even mean? I don't know what that means, actually. That seems pretty fucking whack. Whatever. So, all we hear is that Trump is now pissed off at Putin. He still hasn't managed to get us out of that war, I guess. Now he wants a 3rd term, which is signaling a lot of bad things are about to be coming. We've seen another massive 7.0 earthquake hitting in places that nobody even seems to have known. And now I'm supposed to just believe that everything is okay? Yeah. I don't actually. I think it's pretty fucked up. It's a little bit weird. It's a little bit out of the cusp. What's this right here? Gold spot price? 3,000, huh? Oh, that's nice. The gold price is going up. I like gold. I don't really have any, but I like it. Right? I like it. I mean, if you look at all this stuff, it looks like J.R. Riggs and them have been keeping me up, but yeah, the Discord's been a little bit dead. The only other things that I've seen that I thought was kind of interesting was like this article right here. It was mysterious airstrip off Yemen might be used by U.S. warplanes. Satellite images from Planet Labs PBC show an airstrip that appears ready on Manyue Island, a volcanic outcropping in the center of El Bab Maneb Strait off Yemen. Why would we need that? That's not even close to us. I guess it's all that stuff that we're doing, with Israel and Ben Gurion Airport, trying to, make sure that we got a foothold over there. Yeah, it seems pretty nice, right? Mm-hmm. Some old wallet need to move their coins to get better security, but I might signal a sale. That's true. Saw diamonds are going down. Of course, diamonds are going down. They can just make diamonds now, so diamonds ain't gonna be worth shit for in a while. Because you can just price your own, or you can go dig them up. I mean, people will buy the dug up ones, but if they can afford to make them, why the fuck would they even care about it? That's a big question. Here, Marfugel. This will be the official start of the end of the world! What's this? 3 days after Zelensky predicts Putin's imminent death, the Russian president's limousine exploded in front of the FSB headquarters. Oh, really? It exploded, huh?
In what could be one of the most...
Oh, good. It's Alex Jones.
3 days ago, the dictator of Ukraine, Zelensky, said, Putin's old, he'll be dead soon, or maybe dead sooner because of something else. So I'm not worried. This is all coming to an end.
Суспільство залежить, але і залежить від його років. Він помре скоро, це факт, і все закінчиться. Тобто його питання він може закінчити до того, як він, скажімо так, закінчить своє абсолютно безпечне і невдале історичне життя. І ось чого він боїться.
Excuse me? 3 days after Zelensky predicted an imminent death, a limousine exploded? Damn, son. Zelensky tried to do terrorism and blow this dude up, dog? Did the CIA fuck up a little bit on that one? I mean, somebody explain to me how that came about. Yeah, that seems a little bit weird. Because he's not the type that would be saying shit like that unless he had something in his bag or whatever, like he was a threat.
And we have the deputy head.
Like if it was a threat, right? A threat? I don't know. Yeah, of course, the Ukrainian people don't want war. They don't want Zelensky anymore. But then you turn around and what do we got? We got Israel. So it doesn't matter if we give up on one. We're still going to have to deal with the other one. And let me tell you, right now, one of them, our people are dying. But if they shift themselves out of this place entirely, guess what? Americans are going to be dying for people that don't give two shits about them. Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Yeah, remember yesterday when Zelensky said Putin will die soon? Yeah, I'm sorry. It just doesn't seem like there's going to be any type of downplay what's going on over there. I don't think that peace is on the table. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't sound like it, right? Limousines like that don't just go up and smoke. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You pick it up when I'm putting down their dog. Whatever. More news that proves that the Bible is just a story and everyone else is a dumbass. Landmark findings shows that Homo naled buried their dead up to 250,000 years ago, according to research. Yeah. Yep. Cool, man. Wait, we had human-like ancestors 250,000 years ago? The Homo naled? Extinct relative of modern humans whose brain was 1/3 the size of ours buried their dead in grave cave walls about 25,000 years ago. Sorry, guys. Hate to break it to you. You're older than you think.
Homo naledi, an extinct relative of modern humans whose brain was 1/3 the size of ours, buried their dead in engraved cave walls about 250,000 years ago, according to new research. The findings are overturning long-held theories that only modern humans and our Neanderthal cousins could do these complex activities. Evidence of burial practices in this early hominin would be a landmark finding, according to a team of researchers who published their hypothesis in the journal eLife in 2023. But their theory became controversial, with numerous experts saying the evidence wasn't enough to conclude that H. naledi buried or memorialized their dead. In a revised study published Friday, March 28, in eLife, the researchers laid out 250 pages worth of proof of purposeful burial that they say has convinced more people.
Human beings burying their dead forever. Yeah, dude. You gotta put them in the ground, man, so they don't stink up the place. You know what I'm saying? You gotta put them in the ground so they don't stink up the place. So that's cool. What else do we have going on? People rioting over all of these different guys. Wait, what's this? Toyota. I don't know. I don't know. That doesn't seem like a Toyota. What is this? 13% of the population commits 50% of violent crimes. Facts don't care about your feelings. That's racist. Chirp. You guys got kicked out of 109 countries. Facts don't care about your feelings. That's anti-Semitic. That's pretty good. What's this one? Leftist in a nutshell. I don't think women should have any rights, and LGBTQIA people should be executed. Wow, that's a complete primitive asshole. You must be a Republican. No, actually, I'm a Muslim, and those are my religious beliefs. Oh, I'm so sorry. I apologize. I hope you don't think I'm Islamophobic. Damn, you guys got some questionable memes up in this bitch. Y'all be posting some questionable ass memes up in the Discord. Okay. I don't know, man. You guys might need to hold it down a little bit for a second, okay? You're gonna get us on the list, right? When they start deporting people that are American citizens because they talk bad about Israel to Guatemala, you know what? You're gonna thank me, okay? You're gonna thank me for telling you to shut up, okay? Just putting that out there. Just putting it down, putting it out there, just telling you what's going on, just giving you a little secret. But yeah, that's pretty much all that's been going on with me today. Didn't really have a whole lot for you today because it hasn't really been that crazy of a week. Not that much crazy shit has happened, I'd have to say. I mean, the craziest shit has happened was the damn earthquakes that went down in Myanmar. I mean, that's pretty wild. Right? But Trump saying that he's going to have another term is also equally as wild because, I mean, there's just really no pathway to that, right? I mean, there's not enough people to actually get that passed by the states, is there not? Right? Like, how many states did he win? Hold up. Let's look that up. We'll ask the Grok this. We'll ask Grok about it. How many states did Donald Trump win in 2024? Interesting. Oh, yes, he won 31 states. So he's only 7 states away from getting to his goal. yeah, he's just got to pass up just the most insurmountable odds that he's ever done, and then maybe he might be able to get it done. It could be a connection. Yeah. There's a huge connection between the two wars, guys. The whole point was to get us into a gigantic global war. I mean, they're literally setting us up for exactly what happened before the last World War, right? There was a gigantic depression, and then the American people came together and started pulling themselves out of the depression and remanufacturing, and then they got into the war and kept manufacturing, powered through that whole situation, and then ended up pretty profitable after that situation. It's like, is that what the plan is this time around? I mean, it seems like a really fucking stupid plan if you ask me, but the powers that be and a lot of the other individuals out there that stand to gain the most out of all of it have already made exactly what their plans are known, right? Greater Israel, and Greater Israel isn't going to happen without another world war. So, if we're looking at what's happening with Russia right now, there was supposed to be peace there. And, well, that kind of got all fucked up. That's not happening anymore. People are bombing people and shit over there. I feel like it's pretty easy to say that, maybe Donald Trump was speaking a little too harshly when he said that he could get that shit taken care of. Because he's obviously not getting that shit taken care of. And, you can try to argue any other point, but, I mean, the Negro said that he was going to have that shit done day one, and we're pretty far away from that shit by now. If he could, maybe he meant to say year one. Okay, let's give him year one. You know what? I'll give him to year one, the end of the year, the first year of him being the president. He gets 1 year on that shit. Yep. They really want to start a Muslim Christian war, and then the Jews just want to be on the side so that they can come, and after we take over all the land and conquer it, they're just going to claim that it's theirs and then take it over. And then, no, they're our greatest allies, so we can't stop them. And then if we tried, they just nuke us or something like that. So, we're putting ourselves into a really crazy war, but when you look at it, like, they killed JFK and he was a Christian, right? But Donald Trump converted to Judaism, has got Jewish kids. He's basically the Uber Jew at this point. The only reason that he's just so good at this whole entire situation is because he's been wanting to play the game forever, right? Now we're watching him do it like live, right? We're watching him do it live. We're not seeing any progress in any of these ways, and everything is rolling us directly and wholly towards a future of war, right? The Israel-Hamas comment, this Israel-Hamas thing, right? Where they're just marking anybody that they don't like as Hamas. And then they're either exporting them from the countries or just blowing them up. Or then they see giant groups of people out there. Oh, yeah, one of them was Hamas, so we just killed all of them. But it's totally cool because you know what? War's hell. Even though I don't think that the shit that our soldiers did in Iraq ever came close to anything that these guys have fucking cooked up in the last couple of years. So, to be perfectly frank with you, it looks like a really bad situation for the people. So, are we going to... I don't even care about seeing any UFO or drone files or anything like that. I don't care about none of that shit. No, don't care about it. I mean, it's all just going to be horseshit. The way that I look at it, it's just going to be a bunch of poppycock. Like, they are going to keep trying to flash us with that type of shit, but inevitably, Trump is putting out all of our planes and he's putting it out on the table that, he's about to start sending out Americans to do war, right? Whether it's going to be in Israel, the Middle East, over there in Ukraine and Russia, or even dealing with China. He's basically trying to put that same wartime posture that he had in the beginning, but it has a completely different feel to it this time around because, they're actually doing shit, right? They're actually moving stuff around. they're actually trying to make some things happen, and those things don't seem to really be in the interest of the United States, right? Like, they said it was supposed to be America first, but I'll just be honest with you, I haven't seen a whole lot of that. I've seen, this Dodge play, but, these aren't real savings, right? They're not doing anything to help what was already spent, right? It's not like they're getting the money back, just taking a loss and stopping it going forward, which is indeed helpful, but overall, still not the move. You know what I'm saying? So, who really knows? All I know is that it definitely marks a strange time, people. We're in a strange time. And now, a message from Teacher Prometheus from Canada in Alberta. Yeah. Let's see what he has to say about this whole situation. This is just a message from today.
Teacher Prometheus, forgive all personalities for the false starts, erroneous decisions, and unwise choices they make in time during their mortal sojourn in serving the evolutionary deity, the Supreme Being, and as they learn from past mistakes, missteps, or misguided attempts to appease the lower animal origin mind. The human being is divinely indwelt by a pure, loving, dedicated and educated pre-personal fragment of the Creator. Each evolutionary creature of spacetime with the capacity of mind and free will which is part of the personality endowment, and who has made a spiritual-minded, selfless, considerate, moral decision to serve another being is given the gift of the indwelling guide, the thought adjuster. The language of the heart is the communication the indwelling guide teaches the mortal to hear and to translate the will of God into the world and in the relationships among men and women. The individual mortal must first attune to the higher frequency communications emanating from the loving and intelligent voice within. This has been variously called the still small voice, wisdom within, guide within, teacher within, and many other names on this and other planets of which there are trillions in creation. And yet the Creator knows all his children without exception. So very much time is wasted in the material pursuits on the planet which have distracted humans from their most valuable and meaningful relationship, the relationship with the God within, the indwelling spirit that inhabits your heart and makes the investments of light and insight, real spiritualizing energies, morontial motor, which are the high values necessary to continue on an upward progressive, spiritual path, and the leadings of spirit, which are constantly directed from the local universe Creator Son, Christ Michael, and the universe Mother Spirit. The Spirit of Truth on Urantia works with all humans as they sincerely seek to know the Creator Son. His gift is continuously renewed with each generation to provide a spiritizing force that works within the human mind with the assistance of the TA and the cooperation and humility of the human. The Spirit of Truth is very active in the young child along with the mind adjutants of Mother Spirit even before the first moral free will choice is made. Groundwork is also laid for the TA by a healthy and loving, spiritually receptive, morally principled parental influence. Each human personality is a unique gift of the Creator Father and in all creation. Various orders of beings are given aspects of divine personality which are qualified for certain roles as well as administrative and artistic services in the hierarchy of the divine plan. Within this hierarchy, however, there is no competitiveness as that would be a sure recipe for chaos and disorder. The cosmic order is designed intelligently and lovingly and the Paradise and Havona creations are perfect creations. The time-space creation, which consists of 7 superuniverses circling Paradise and Havona, contain within them hundreds of thousands of individual universes and billions of planetary spheres, which are the nurseries and the gardens of the growing souls for trillions of creatures of mortal station. We are Prometheus.
Interesting. You like UFOs? Should like that. That's an interesting message. Personality Development Part 1. The Language of the Heart. Received by someone named Rene. All the way back in 2013. Interesting message. What does it say? Well, yeah. You make moral decisions, and then you get the light of that indwelling spirit in the thought adjuster, and then you keep pushing forward and attuning to the higher frequencies emanating from the intelligent voice within, and then you keep helping people and keep pushing that spark, right? Putting yourself into places that you're supposed to be. So many people are wasting time in material pursuits here on the planets, but then again, that's probably why so many people are looking constantly for an answer, right? An answer to the age-old mystery of the time-space paradox here in the Matrix known as the Marincha worlds, or aka the local universe, aka Marincha, aka Earth, aka, this little fucking ball that we're on right here, flying fast as fuck through the entirety of the cosmos. Either way, I feel like everybody should be at least blessed with the truth and the knowledge that is given not only to human beings, but, to people that serve the divine purpose, right? Like, I feel like a lot of people out there don't realize why a lot of this stuff exists because they're so caught up in dogma from so many different types of religions that are out there, right? But even in the sense of this, it's like our universe is pretty small in the grand scheme of things. And everything that's happening on the world always seems to feel like it's got some type of apocalyptic undertone. Even now, you can see it almost in everything that is out there, right? And some people don't realize that in their lifetime. Like, that's what you got to realize here is that, and the idea of the 1111, it's never going to be everyone that's going to feel this way, right? Their idea is that only a certain amount of people that came here or are here right now are going to be part of the group of angels and demons or whatever you want to call them that are all just trying to push people forward to get past this rather, I guess, sticky point in time, right? Because you're supposed to raise the vibrational frequencies of the universe and follow that progressive, spiritual, uplifting path and make the change. But a lot of people haven't really made any types of changes, and people are still stuck with almost a base understanding of the things that are out there within, just the local universe or even just within their local community. I feel like even now, there's still just a ton of folks that haven't really truly, I guess, blessed themselves with the wisdom that's within or followed even an inkling of the teachings that are out there because they feel like, oh, well, it doesn't matter because it's just a small thing. There's trillions of people out there, right? And each of them is individually different in their own little ways. But eventually, they're all going to end up back at the same place, whether you believe it's God and some people believe it's nothing. And I mean, hell, if you believe in the bad guy too, like the devil, you still got to believe that God exists. There's an evil type of people that are running wild. And I mean, I feel like in all the different books, they talk about how certain individuals, the 144,000, the tribes, the original ones, right? The ones that are going to come forward into the end times and start preaching about stuff. I mean, if any time is going to be good for that, it seems like it's going to be now, right? So I challenge everyone to try to push forward, right? Look into these different things because at the end of the day, you're not separating yourself from the unity of anything, right? I think that the whole idea here is to keep yourself connected to the unity in that thing, whether you believe in God, Krishna, Jesus, Ganesh, whatever the fuck, right? All of these things would still essentially be the same, right? And even in an infinite universe, I mean, there seems to definitely be room for all those ideas to be perfect and valid in their own way, right? Even more so, we can't let ourselves get twisted by the nonsense, right? Don't let yourself get twisted off the nonsense. Because because I think there's a lot more to be coming for you. Just listen to your heart, listen to the people that are around you, right? Because your heart's not going to lead you wrong if you're really listening to it. There's some people that claim they listen to it, but they're only listening to a part of it. I think you should listen to the whole thing. Get the whole noise, right? You'll know within the first couple of seconds whether if you're going to like a person or not. Just learn to pick up on that. And with that, we're done here for today because I got to get up and go to work tomorrow. So, thank you for joining us for yet another episode of the Griftcast IRL Weekend Update. We hope that you enjoyed the Best Worst Show on the internet. And, yeah, hope everything is well for you. I'm going to go finish making my lunch for the week. And I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye now. Have a good one. See you later. Be well out there. And don't forget to read. Yeah, read. Oh, yeah, speaking of read, we'll leave it off on this weird-ass book that sure you got. I keep on getting more and more stuff or whatever. What does it say? Huh. God has power over all of Hare's fiercest force. God holds back which seeks to bring the unprecedented deception and destruction. God gives us time to change and turn around. God determines the timing, usually set up evil for its own defeat and destruction. God's timing involves setup at the greatest level of redemption and salvation. See 2 Peter 3. Satan and all of his work is finite. However, God is infinite. Interesting. We are given a revelation by the Spirit of God to what actually holds this hell on earth back. The entire plan, power, and people of the coming Black Awakening are, as of right now, blocked. The hand of God, be it an angel or the Holy Spirit, simply holds back the onslaught of the rebellion and the rise of the Antichrist. The hands of restraints here is the power of God holding back its massive unleashings of hell's agenda. The restraint of God is spoken in 2 Thessalonians 2. Yep. If you're not ready for the satanic super soldiers, then what are you ready for? Have a good one. Bye-bye now. See you later. Au revoir.